guys.
Welcome back, roamers.
Welcome back. Welcome to Screen Sips with your host Isabella
and Emmy.
And today we will be doing a double feature back to back.
First time.
Yes. Now we've done double features like for fun outside of the YouTube channel, but
we go watch two movies back to back. I mean, we started doing Barbenheimer originally did that, so we did. Although I didn't watch Barbie and Oppenheimer on the same day. I watched it.
No, I couldn't.
Barbie one day and then Oppenheimer like 2 days after.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but funny enough, I've unintentionally been doing double features since I was a kid with my family.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, what, you and your family didn't like wait in the theater for the next showtime?
I mean, when I was older, I was doing it with friends. Mind you,
my parents...
allegedly we were going into other theaters and watching movies, but it was easier in those kind of movie theaters because they were huge. So like
you could still do them now, but you have to do them when they've been in theaters for a long time.
Yeah, because the chairs are less empty.
Yeah, but I've been doing that since I was a kid. But now,
oh no, yeah. Well, there's Barbie Oppenheimer, and then there was, what was it last year? People were talking about
Wicked and Gladiator
2, and then we chose to do this ourselves. So, because we thought they were pretty polar opposite, and like we were excited for both. So we did the Materialists and
How to Train Your Dragon. Yes,
and we kind of dressed. Yes,
can you tell?
She's a Viking. Actually, I'm not gonna lie to you. Yours is giving more Shrek.
It is. I don't have no. You know what?
With the vest is giving Shrek.
But Hiccup.
Oh my God! There's a whole. What happened?
Yeah, don't clean with bleach, guys.
Yeah, that was bleach. And then I'm trying to embody the blue dress that Dakota wears. I don't know if you can even see that poster in the frame.
You can.
But she wears a blue dress where she meets the two boys.
Yeah. So before we get into it, I'm trying to think. Oh, what were your initial thoughts? Oh, we're gonna start off with Materialists. Let me just lay that.
Okay, yeah. Since this is a double feature, this is new for us. We're not gonna intertwine it. We're not gonna do it like the people who analyze what do they have in common. We're just gonna do one review and then a second review. So we're gonna start off with Materialists, and then we're gonna put a timestamp right here of when we'll start talking about How to Train Your Dragon. So if you don't care for Materialists or you haven't seen it yet and don't want it to get spoiled, because Screen Sips we do spoil, and we will just go ahead and watch How to Train Your Dragon. But I don't know. We thought we wanted to really talk about both, and why not just talk about them in the same video?
Exactly. So I would say to start off, when you were started to get marketed Materialist, do you remember any of your initial thoughts?
I said, "Oh hell yeah, Dakota Johnson, Pedro Pascal, and Chris Evans." I was all about the cast. For me, it was all about the cast and rom-com vibes.
Okay. For me, I was excited that A24 was doing another film with Celine Song. So I was like, okay, I will be watching. And then on top of that, she's doing a rom-com. Yeah, I'm sad.
Which is new for her, right?
Yes, yeah, it is new for her. So I
didn't watch Past Lives, but from the essence I got of it, it was not a romantic comedy at all.
It's no. It's not a.
It's a romantic drama.
Yeah.
She went to see it. Well, fell asleep and then saw it again.
Right? Yeah. I haven't seen it again recently. I'll rewatch it again, but my bad, y'all. My bad. But I watched it after work. Don't do that. That is not a film that you watch after work.
I would say same thing with this. The double feature, we did Materialists first, then How to Train Your Dragon, because I think, well, it was a rom-com, but I think we came out of Materialists like it was a pretty lighthearted.
Yeah.
Nah, not lighthearted.
It's lighthearted.
It was lighthearted, but there was still like, it's very different from like an action kid movie. We did that one first and then ended off with a bang. But it was giving me really early 2000s rom-com vibes from like the snippets we got of the trailer and stuff like that.
Yeah. I absolutely love the marketing that A24 did. As you could tell, I printed out specifically Pedro's Materialist poster. I love it a lot. Everything, the aesthetic of it fit very, very well. Now, I would say I don't know if it's gonna age well in terms of like the early 2000s rom-coms, just because of them mentioning like social media.
But I don't know. I didn't think it was that bad. Like
there's no.
I didn't think that the modernism killed it.
I think that's one thing I have to, I guess, get used to, because since I wasn't raised with that type of media mentioning like our reality and these
Oh, no,
fictional.
yeah, you have to watch early 2000s to get it. Like, you watch early 2000s movies, like, you watch How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days,
Yeah.
10 Things I Hate About You, like, they're very niche to their time. Like, the things
Yes.
that they experience, the things they talk about, the culture that they're influenced by.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's similar to this.
Okay.
Like, the reality of their dating is influenced by what's happening in the world. Like, it's
Okay.
just, like, very good. Every setting is different, obviously. How to
Yeah.
Lose a Guy in 10 Days is kind of similar to Materialists,
It
in my
is. It
opinion.
is.
And that's why I think I really liked it.
Yeah.
I just think that How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days is a little funnier.
Yes, but I don't think
I think it really, yeah.
Celine Song, I don't think she was leaning into the comedic role at all. She's like, there's elements of
There was
comedy.
funny parts.
There's funny moments, but
yeah, and that's because I think the circumstances of like her job are funny.
Exactly, yes.
But it doesn't really have like, there's not really a funny like banter between the characters.
I think so. We have Lucy, which is Dakota Johnson, John, which is Chris Evans, and Harry, which is Pedro Pascal.
Which, LOL, John, Harry, and Lucy.
Yeah. So you made a good note while we were watching. It's like, did she come up with these names as like
before
like she did
before she casted
before she like who did she have in mind?
Because she said the last person she casted was Pedro Pascal, and the reason she casted Pedro was because she was trying to find somebody who was who could intimidate Chris Evans enough.
Right.
Like, who's somebody that like Chris Evans would be intimidated by? That was like that's what she said.
That's good. That's a good perspective.
So she was that was the last person she casted. I think the first person was Lucy. I think Dakota was her first person.
Yeah.
So I really like Dakota Johnson. So it was fun seeing her in this, and like she's coming back because she's gonna be doing Verity.
I'm so excited
next year. With Anne Hathaway.
That's gonna be
two
good.
Girlies.
That's gonna be good.
But yeah. What's it called? What did you think of the marketing?
Overall, I think A24 does an incredible job with their marketing. I think they really do lean in of like the aesthetic of a film, whether it's like prop wise, costuming wise. Like they're able to, what's that term called? Like really like Pinterestify the film, but in a way that's like
it has
nice.
An aesthetic.
It has an aesthetic.
I swear,
to
all
it.
A24 just gives me Euphoria vibes.
Really? I feel like Euphoria is A24, but
or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're very similar in this, and they're very stylistic.
Yes.
Like, but this movie being like very based in realism, it was a very beautiful movie.
Oh, cinematography!
It was a very beautiful movie.
Always,
it was very beautiful.
I wonder. It seemed like it was shot in film. I think it was shot in film.
Probably. I think it was well paced.
Yes.
I mean, like it's very classic. When I say classic, like 2000s movies, because it's literally just people having conversations.
Yeah.
In different rooms.
Yeah. And one thing I do love about Celine Song that I noticed in comparison to past lives, she likes silence. Like
a lot of silence.
And I will say I like that a lot because even myself, I'll catch myself like watching a YouTube video and I'm like, did this need this underlying music?
Makes it very intimate.
It makes it intimate, but also realistic. If you really think about it, you don't have music.
That's why I said it's very based in realism. It's very based in like how conversations. Like we were at like 3/4 through the movie, and we're like, this conversation feels very like normal. Like it feels like just like the way people would just be talking. Yeah.
Yes. It was. Oh, and that's really impressive on the screenwriting on Celine Song's part, but then also Dakota and Chris, their banter, and Harry and Pedro and Dakota, like the chemistry there was like familiar.
Exactly. I feel like also watching interviews of the cast, because every time there's a movie with a cast, I always watch interviews. But you can tell that Pedro and Dakota like have real love for each other.
Yeah.
Like they're friends. Like they're good friends. So I feel like that obviously helps with the chemistry.
Yeah.
Same with Chris. You can tell that like all three of them have like good banter.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that obviously plays up. Like it's just casted very well. Like they're big A-list celebrities. Like they're big names, and sometimes they're like, okay, they just casted big names for big names, but they have good chemistry and they work well together, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I really, it's so funny, specifically for Pedro. I think it's so interesting. Like we're really starting to see his range of acting.
Oh yeah, I know.
Like really starting to see
Somebody said after the movie, like there was people talking, and somebody said it's nice to see them outside of the superhero.
Yes, and I was like, Chris Evans needs to get into more rom-coms.
Yeah, he's been needing to.
He needs to. I am on. I guess on his defense, we don't know if he's actually been wanting to do that, or and maybe he was just offered like, hey, like this is a really good role, and maybe it was something for you to experiment with.
Yeah.
Or if he's actually seeking out other roles, and it just hasn't worked out. We don't know the reality of it, but I hope the rom-com space does call to him a little more. I
Hopefully.
think
He
because
has the face for it.
Yeah, well, yes, he has a face, and also after seeing him in Red One with The Rock, he's funny. He needs to get into comedy.
True.
He's very, very funny. So I think he needs to step into that. But yeah, overall, I think I don't know. Like it.
I also.
Oh, let's talk about the plot. We should. Talk about
I was gonna say let's get into. I also liked. This is something I liked, and there's something I didn't.
Yeah, of course.
I also really liked their age. Like they're people in their mid 30s to late 30s trying to date. Like the material, like people who are signed up for this program or this
service. It's a service.
She's for the service. She's she's not a materialist. She's a matchmaker who her clients she tries to find dates for. Which also the plot took a turn I didn't think it was going to, but we'll talk about that in a second. But like I said before, the act itself is comedic. Like I didn't even think that was a thing that people still used. Like it's very 2000s, like having a matchmaker to find you somebody to date. Interesting. But it's just the fact that they're like a lot older in their life and like it's people
established.
Yeah.
It's well established people.
And of course the only city in the world, New York.
It has to be New York.
So
nowhere else.
Yeah. Which is fine. A lot of diversity in New York.
Yeah.
But I liked the concept of like her being because it's Celine says like she used to be a matchmaker. She worked as a matchmaker for 6 months, and that's why she wrote it.
I'm someone that watch interviews after because I'm afraid that they'll say something, but unintentionally.
But these are all pre-release interviews, so they're not going to spoil anything. That's the point.
No, but for me, it's how they describe it and stuff. Like with any interview, I don't watch anything. That side of the marketing, I don't indulge in. Because me myself,
no, it's fun.
Well, yes,
they play like stupid little games on Vogue and stuff. It's like less about. It's really less about the movie. I don't really watch the serious ones.
Oh no,
I watch like the funny ones.
Oh, that makes me think. I wonder when is Pedro going to go on Actors on Actors?
Hasn't he already been on it?
I don't think so. But anyway, so yes, with her, I did not know that she was a matchmaker.
Yeah, before. So Celine wrote it off of the experience of her being a matchmaker for 6 months, and like the concept that like she didn't when she worked as a matchmaker, how like real and like authentic and not authentic, how real and like raw people get with their matchmaker. Yeah, like more vulnerable than their therapist, which is a line she writes in the movie. Yes. Like Dakota says.
That is tea.
But I don't know. I thought it was like an interesting thing. Like I've never heard of a matchmaker before. I didn't think that they were still a thing.
Yeah, I've heard of them, but I didn't know that. I guess are they gonna be a thing? I wonder if people are gonna start looking for them because I've been on the side of the internet where it comes to like what is the dating industry like? What is happening with dating now? Since there was before the pandemic, there was like the increase of dating apps. The pandemic skyrocketed everything, but now there's been an increased dip of like people don't want to be online anymore. People
decrease.
Sorry, thank you. A decrease of in-person dating. So there's a bunch of dating apps popping up, but they're forcing people to meet in person. So now I'm curious to know if there's gonna be a spike in matchmaking businesses.
I don't think so.
You'll be shocked when the movie does, y'all. You'll be shocked.
But at first, when I first watched the trailer, and I was like, "Why is it called Materialists? Like, why is it called? I don't get it. I don't understand it." And we watched the movie. I was like trying to understand it throughout the movie, and then I clicked. I'm like, "Oh, I get it now." Mm-hmm. Did you get it?
I thought speak your mind because you could. What's it called? Like,
analyze it.
Not analyze it, but how you describe it is better thought out than myself.
I guess basically the way I took it after we finished watching it was that the 3 characters or like all the characters involved when they're dating are all thinking about the material aspects. Like one line that Pedro says when Pedro and Dakota like they're on one of those first dates when he gets her all those roses. Mm-hmm. And he says, the material will subside. It'll die, but it's the internal, like intangible things that last forever. Mm-hmm. So like, I think that's what it's trying to push is that like all these people in dating now, like modern dating, is all about the materialism, how you look, how much money you
The
make,
physicality
how
of it all.
tall, how this, how that, and like especially Lucy's character, like her thinking that she didn't want to be with John because her parents never had money, and that's what she thought was going to make her happy. But then realizing being with a guy like that, like Pedro, who's all nice and everything, has no bad qualities, but has the materialism that she seeks that John didn't have. But she realizes that it's not, she doesn't love him the way she would love, she loves John, which in my opinion, that pisses me off because like she's known Harry 2 months. She knew John for 5 years and whatever, you know, I feel like she could build that connection with Harry if she wanted to, but she was still so like connected to John. I feel like it would have worked better if John wasn't someone from her past.
I think, yeah, so that's, we could get into the details, but when I thought of the Materialist first, I took it away basically how Lucy's character was like, people only look at specifically the money aspect of it, because she kept mentioning of like
How much you
overall
make a year?
how much you make a year, how much you make a year, what kind of job you have. So it's more
what they have.
Well, it's more the
what they have to bring to the table,
because
that's
marriage is a business
like
deal.
literally you watch or you literally listen to her clients, which those are like the funniest parts of the movie, is when she's having these like sit down interactions with her client and they're telling her what they when they're telling her what they want. And like I think those are the funniest parts of the movie because they're like they're being very, very true and real, and it's kind of like, okay, let's calm down. Like that one guy.
Yeah. No, I can't like, oh my god, if I wish I had a list of like all the clients. I do love how they say the clients like Brittany M. Like it's like they don't say their last name because it's not relevant.
For them it's a profile.
Yeah.
For them it's a folder. It's a file. Next. This file goes with this file.
Yeah.
He, like she says a million times, his boxes, like he ticks your boxes, she ticks your boxes, but it's all physical stuff. And the movie takes a pretty big turn that I didn't see coming, where you get to like meet one of the clients better, Sophie M, I think, or Sophie L, something like
Sophie
that. Sophie, I remember Sophie. Her name's Sophie. And you get to see that like the ramifications of like Dakota not really knowing who her clients are deep down and setting these two people up that leads to an assault,
which I think,
so like it took like a darker turn than I thought it was gonna take.
Yeah,
like especially in that lane, and it didn't focus as much on the trio as I thought it would.
Yeah, but I think that this is a message that it's honestly really well executed in the modern dating scene, is that through the dating apps you are risking swiping left and right. Like you really don't know who those people are. You don't know who they are. So when Lucy's confronted with this situation, she goes to her boss and it's like, oh my god, I did not realize, I thought I knew Mark as well as I knew Sophie, but in reality I did not take the time out of my day to get to know Mark as well as I did Sophie, because Sophie's been on this journey with me.
But also because but also because I think it's like she's only like, it's the client themselves also saying not things they want about somebody like emotionally. It's all the physical stuff. It's all the materialistic stuff. Yeah. Like she only asks her clients about the materialistic stuff. How tall do you want them to be? How much money do they need to make? What kind of job do you like? You know, like, do they want kids? Do they not want kids? It's not really any of the deep stuff, because I think she feels like as the matchmaker, it's not really her like job to ask that. But she comes to realize that like it is. Like she does need to ask that kind of stuff. She does need to have more of an intimate relationship with her clients to understand what they want, and then see that. I mean, you can never know who a person really is behind closed doors, of course. And I think the guilt that she feels like in the second half of the movie after she finds that out, it's like very interesting, and it also plays a part in her life and like how she deals with Pedro or John and Harry.
Yeah, it's, oh gosh, I think, yeah, it's good. I recommend everyone to watch this, because I think it's an interesting take on adult dating scene, especially us. We're
on modern dating. It's just in like the comedic lane of a matchmaker.
Yes, and I also do enjoy how Celine chose to use characters in their 30s and not in their early 20s.
But that's what I'm saying. I liked that aspect. I like that a lot. It's realistic. It's very, very realistic.
Well, because it's a demographic that a lot of people don't talk about, and even like the podcasters that I listen to that are in their late 20s, early 30s, it's like you're so young with dating even then. It's like if you're not dating in your mid-20s, it's like you're doing it wrong. And it's like, what's wrong
There's
with
no right or
dating in your
wrong.
30s and 40s? Like
Yeah,
it's
there's no right or wrong in my
yeah,
opinion.
no,
Like
I agree.
some people just have other priorities when they're younger and
Yeah, and
don't.
even that's why I like Emily Henry. It's
Mm-hmm.
those characters that even though like I feel young in that times, I do feel like, oh man, I'm so behind in
Yeah,
life.
that's why
I read these books and I see these films and it's like
I was excited
it's
to
a
see those rom-coms come to life
yeah,
now.
I think it's really cool to have that demographic of adults dating still, whether
Mm-hmm.
they've dated or been divorced or whatever. It's like seeing like what is it like to have two relatively established adults, like they kind of have an idea with what's going on in life. It's like, you know what, now I want to give love a chance. So I think it's really fun. Now to get into the nitty gritty of, I wouldn't say cons, but it's like
Well, what
what
we
I
didn't
would have
like
done.
about the yeah, what we didn't like about the
Yeah.
story, and like, and that's okay because the whole lead up, the last few weeks with my coworkers and friends were like,
Mm.
who's she gonna pick? And everyone wants her to pick Pedro because like you want that for your girl. He's rich, he's handsome, he seems
He's
to
a
treat her right. Like
unicorn.
me, when I was watching it, I'm like, it's gonna either have a twist of like he's a bad person
Yeah.
or he's gonna die.
Well, right.
They're gonna one day him.
Whatever, guys.
But it really doesn't ever get that serious. It just
No.
really gets to the thing of like she just tells him straight up, like, I just don't love you like that. Like I don't feel that deep love for you.
Correct.
Because she feels it for John. And you know what? Like I said, I personally think that because of they were together for 5 years, they knew each other for years, there's all these unresolved
Since
feelings.
college.
Exactly. All these unresolved feelings that she still has for him that doesn't let her move on with Harry properly, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
That I saw it coming as soon as the first 15 minutes go. I'm like, she's going to end up with John.
I think that's, and I love letterboxes. Thank goodness I'm not the only one that thinks this way. I think the rom com of it, like that sheen of it, it's like her choosing someone like John. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, but what if, hear me out, what if she did end up with Harry? And I think that's the downside of it. It's like, just like how you said earlier, she did not give Harry a chance. And even then, like, you can break this down to like friendship. It's like, oh, I don't even think like, they're that good of a friend. You hung with them twice. Like, how do you know if they're a good friend or
I
not?
think
Like,
the Sophie thing derails it. That's why.
I think
She
to go back to comfort, to go something comfortable.
She emotionally like goes crazy in a
Yeah.
way when she finds that out, and
Yeah.
it's like, maybe this isn't for me. This isn't, it. I don't know. I just think that like the having the past with John is like it's already a lose for Harry in a
And
sense.
it really, I mean, how do you beat 5? And it's not even like knowing each other. They dated.
Yeah, and it's not like he was bad to her.
No.
He was never, he deeply loves her. Like you can tell he like
Yeah.
deeply loves her. Like the way Chris Evans looks
Yeah.
at her, like, oh my goodness. Like you get it. I get it. But why do we have to pick the brokey?
And here's the thing too. I love how aware the characters are. Harry's aware that he is wealthy.
Right.
Lucy is aware that she is financially stable, lives on her own. John is aware, yeah, I'm broke. Yes,
Exactly.
I'm
it's not like
trying to be an actor. I'm trying, I work multiple jobs. I still live with roommates. I like the awareness of it. But I think it's, to put it in layman's terms, she's settled. She's settled. I really do think she's settled instead of giving herself a genuine chance with Harry.
I just think that if at the beginning in the first half of the movie she's saying, we see that flashback of her and John.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm just gonna resent you forever because you're broke and I don't want to resent you. Like it makes me hate myself.
Yeah, and she says it.
She verbalizes it. Yeah. And then they have a fight very late in the movie where she says the same thing, but she goes back. And it's like, you can tell she loves him too. Yeah. They love each other. But she keeps saying that thing to him like 3 or 4 times throughout the movie, saying, I'm going to resent you because you're broke and I don't want to feel that way.
Yeah.
I don't want to feel like I want these fancy dinners. I need this money. I want to feel stable, whatever, right? So for me, it's like if she would have changed her verbiage or her thinking later in the movie and then gone with John, I could have accepted it a little bit more. But she's still 10 minutes before they really end up together, she's still saying the same thing to him.
Yeah.
At the wedding. Yes. At the wedding thing. Well, she's saying the same exact thing to him. She's saying, I don't think we would work. I think you just love me because we were together for so long. And I don't think I Like, I love you too. I love you so deeply, but I think I'm going to resent you for the rest of my life. Why would you get with somebody when you're telling them that?
And even then, it's like, I think for someone like Sophie, she considered, this is also I don't understand, right? Okay, it's a little no. I don't give a fuck. She says I leased my apartment for a week. So is that like Airbnb?
To go to Iceland.
To go to Iceland.
That's common in New York.
Okay. John, let me move in with you. Girl, don't you have money to like go to like a hotel or something? Do you have friends or something? Like, and John is knowing that I don't remember if John had already told her that he lives with roommates.
Yeah, he's been living with them for years. She used to live there with him.
So why would she?
Because she wants him back.
This is like, it makes me so mad.
When she broke it off with Harry in that moment, when she found out about the leg thing, which it
funny.
wasn't for that.
No, it wasn't. But that's the fact that he kept mentioning it. Like, that's funny.
But no, when he bent down, the 6 inches.
And the white shot of him kneeling, or not kneeling, but like kind of bending down is so.
He was like Lin-Manuel Mirandaing. He was. His knees were like tucked in.
Yeah.
But after she breaks it off with Harry, you can tell like she's immediately going back to John.
It's like, whatever. But yeah, broke boy propaganda. And here's the thing. Once again, I feel like it could work if they were in their early 20s. It's like, we have so much potential in life. But Sophie is established. Lucy is established. I don't know what she wants to do with her life, if I'm being honest. I'm kind of confused because she quit her job, but then got offered like supervisor. True. So like, I don't know what's going on there.
I think it's just open-ended.
And that's okay. I think it's open-ended. We don't know.
And maybe it's a hot take, broke boy propaganda, but you know, like I get it because it works with the movie and the concept of materialism, that like, you know, she thought this whole time being with a rich man was what was going to make her happy, but like she realizes that can't replace love. So I get it, but like I said, I don't think there was a fair chance when she only knew Harry for a month or two, and comparing it to a man that she has a previous 5-year relationship with, and is still in her life. You know, that's what I mean.
No, 100%.
But I like the concept of the movie.
The concept of the film overall, I think, is very, very well done. I mean, Celine's song, she does a wonderful job. I like the messaging of it. Really the only nitpicky thing was like the social media, but that's just me. Like, whenever
I don't think it was like cringy. It's not like Mean Girl level.
Oh,
where it's like they're adding.
Sorry, I've been traumatized.
I think Celine did it in a tasteful way.
Yeah.
I think it was done tastefully. I think it was mentioned, like the mentions of social media and stuff don't really take you out. Like when he mentions that his roommate's dating a TikTok girl. Like,
she does OnlyFans now.
Yeah. Like I think that it didn't come off to me like you have to get used to it. Because it's the reality we live in right now.
And that's one thing I'm dealing with every day. I'm working
especially
through it.
You who love social media.
I work with it, but you don't
see. But you love it.
You know what? I'm a hypocrite.
Before you worked with it, you loved it.
I'm a hypocrite. I have it in my own short film. I'm a hypocrite, guys. I'm a hypocrite. I have it in my own short film.
I only have one little question left. Unless you have a thought.
No.
Is the rom-com genre back?
It's been back. Since Anyone But You.
But is it back?
It is. Especially with Emily Henry getting all her stuff greenlit. Yeah, it's back. It's okay. Here's why. Ever since Book Talk exploded with the romance genre, all of these all these production companies are trying. They see how successful the book alone is on TikTok, how quickly the publishing industry is like greenlighting so many books that necessarily aren't even romance.
A lot of those books aren't rom-coms.
Well, they'll market it as romance and it's not. So just by then the safe route that all these production, it's like, oh my god, this book has X amount of sales. Yeah, I'm gonna make this into a film because it's safe on my behalf. So I think within the next, I would say like 5 years, there's gonna be another boom of romance films, and I'm really, really excited.
How do you feel about that? I personally
thank goodness. Who doesn't
love one? I think that like movies, like rom-coms, like that genre, people don't take so seriously. But like they don't realize like a lot of them have deep messages, and a lot of them are like they're based in reality. And that's what's fun about it.
I think that's why a lot of people don't like it though. It's the reality of like, no, I feel like the extreme of like, oh, that's so like, there's no way I could end up with someone like Harry. I'm gonna find my John, and I think that's okay.
This one I would say leans more towards the romance of it.
Yeah.
Like, like when Harry met Sally, very like more of the like less comedic. There's some comedic aspects, but more romantic, where it's not as like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days or She's the Man, or like those are like funny
with the
those are like
romance.
exactly.
Yeah, so. But I do enjoy a good rom-com. I think that's what a relationship is. It's all the funny moments that you have with your partner and the growing relationship and those special moments. I think it's really, really good. I'm excited. I do.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, I do hope and wish we have a little bit more diversity with the romance.
I'm sure. Hopefully, we'll see.
Shit, if not, we're gonna have to do it ourselves.
What was your Letterboxd rating?
Did I 3? I gave it a 3.
I originally gave it a 4, and then I bumped it down to a 3.
Yeah, but I remember.
I think I'm gonna bump it up to 3.5. I have to give it a rewatch.
That's the thing for me. How I rate films on Letterboxd is my initial review. So then when I go back a year or two from now, or 3 months, it could be today, the next day, I can reflect on like why did I give it a 3. So that's how I rate on Letterboxd. I know a lot of people like to let their thoughts and reviews brew for a little bit. I'm not like that, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'll put mine here.
Very good, very good. So that was us discussing Materialists. Now on to the complete opposite, being fantasy.
Yeah, we took a break between showtimes. Yeah. So like an hour break, got some food.
Yes. Oh, I got my crown. I forgot about that.
You don't have it?
I do have it. 1 second, guys. So I did get the crown. I don't know if you never told me if you got your crown. Lame. Whatever.
I mean, I technically did with Ever, but
okay. But yes.
We took a break between Materialists, got some food, she got her crown, and we stepped into the IMAX theater to watch How to Train Your Dragon.
Yes. So IMAX, to those that don't know, I'll put the professional description, but how I like to say it, better sound. That's basically what it is, better sound. And I think better lighting, because it says filmed in IMAX, so I think it's better quality cinematography, more expensive. But it's good. It's worth it. Once you watch a film in IMAX, it's very difficult to watch it in regular because it's a better experience, in my personal opinion. But yes, so we watched it in IMAX, and
this has been a movie that a lot of people have been anticipating for a long time. When I remember when we first got the announcement of it, like just the poster, How to Train Your Dragon, we were like, really? They're gonna fuck up Toothless. They're gonna mess something up. Like when they just made that first announcement of like How to Train Your Dragon is being made into a live action, and it was just that How to Train Your Dragon, like the title card, that you get that we got like a year and a half ago, and I was like, "Ooh, this is scary." Then a few months after that, we got the look of what Toothless is gonna look like, which it's funny because a lot of production companies like in movies are doing this now. Like they did it with Lilo and Stitch. After Sonic, they started doing it. Basically releasing their animated character turned live action CGI version. They release it, like gets leaked, and they release it to show the public and see how the public reacts. And Toothless was like one of those first ones that people like, they loved it. They did it correctly. And he looks cute. Yes. He looks realistic. Like, he actually looks like a dragon, but he still has that cuteness.
He has the cartoonish animated look to him. How I got the announcement was through the title card, and also when they created the Instagram and they had the slate. I was like, oh shoot, like we're really getting into this. I was very, very excited. I extremely biased. I really, really enjoyed the films. This is the one live action. I'm trying to think of like all the ones I've been in the life, but that I was actually positively excited for. Like
really? I was scared they were messing it up. It's one of my favorite animated movies.
I don't know. For me, I don't know if Universal has done a live action besides Smurfs. Like I don't really care about Smurfs. That's not me. I'm not their demographic of viewers. But even then, I remember Smurfs. Like the CGI was okay. Like I don't know. I didn't really care.
As Smurfette.
Well, yes.
Anyway,
but
now Rihanna's Smurfette.
Rihanna is getting in her movie bag. But so I don't know. I think it was more like let's see what Universal can do, because I was really excited. It's like I have my standards in hell with Disney, so it can only go up. They cannot make it worse. That's not live action. Never mind. But
anyways, we got a lot of the stills. We got the cast, which I was very pleased with, like new actors,
young actors,
age appropriate actors. And then it was when I saw that Stoic was going to be reprising his role, I said, "Oh my god, that's amazing!" I didn't think any of the original voice actors could have reprised
or wanted to
or would want to, but hey,
thank goodness
he's Stoic, so
it's
all good.
Yeah,
we consumed it. It was magical.
Let me just say this. I hate how in the year of our Lord and Savior 2025, there are still people who are so unbelievably racist to characters that are white in the animated form turned into and they're casted with POC actors. It is so
racist and fatphobic because they're saying the same thing about
Fish Legs or no, it was a Rough Nut. Rough Nut, Tough Nut. Here's the thing. Clearly, I think it's like the internet isn't reality. It's like I don't think people are like that in the real world.
They're just annoying.
They're just bored. They're really bored. But it's really disheartening for people to genuinely say we want it to be book to book accurate. But why? Thank goodness they did. They made it a little different. Oh my god! I think people were already exhausted knowing it was frame by frame. The animation to live action, like we were already expecting that, but seeing these new interpretations of the characters through these actors, I think it was wonderful. It was really, really good. Nico Parker did such a good job with Astrid.
Yeah, she did. I think Astrid has never hot take. Nothing against Nico Parker, nothing against America Ferrera. I love her too, but Astrid in the first one makes me so mad every time. I do not get her. I do not like her. I never liked her as a kid. But then in 2, she redeems herself and she's a bad bitch.
Yes.
And I love her in 2. But in the first one, every time I rewatch it, I cannot stand her.
Yeah.
But in the live action, I think they give her a little bit of like more justification to the fact that it's like she really has these hopes of being chief and being like the leader for everyone. But like feels like she can't because she doesn't have, like, she's jealous of Hiccup because, which is crazy to me that she's jealous of Hiccup or intimidated by Hiccup because he's the son of the chief, when so clearly Hiccup is intimidated. Obviously he's in love with her, but he's intimidated by Astrid because his dad has love for Astrid, or like is the kid that he wishes he really had. I
think from Astrid's point of view, it's like no matter how hard she's gonna work to become chief, unfortunately in this universe it's like royalty. It'll be passed down. I don't think
it's handed down in this universe.
I think so.
When they have that conversation of like, she's like, I'm gonna be chief one day, and he's like, oh, my dad would love that, honestly, take it. It's not really like, I don't think it's handed down. I do not think it's handed down.
I mean, based on how much
because they have the history of like all the chiefs from different tribes who come together and one is a leader, and then they like, I think it's like a democratic vote thing.
Oh, cool.
I think it's a vote thing. I'd have to rewatch 2 and 3 to see like if there's any kind of mention of that stuff, but I think it's like a vote thing. I don't think it's a royalty thing. Because
they kept mentioning though about like, oh, your dad being chief and him.
But I don't think it's in the sense of like, oh, he's gonna be taking over one day and he's not strong enough. I think it's in the sense that like, your dad is the chief, you need to live up to those standards.
Okay.
Yeah, and also because of who Stoic is as a person, not just because he is chief.
Okay.
Watching this live action makes me, because I rewatch the animation like once a year. I watched it a couple weeks ago, and I always forget how hard Stoic is on him. He's so, not just him though, because what's his name? Snot something? What? One is in love with Astrid. Oh, their names are so like, even to date that I've watched the movie so many times, I really their names are blurs to me. But even his dad is mean to him, and his dad doesn't like see worth in him.
Snot Lout.
Yeah, Snot Lout. Same thing with Snot Lout and his dad. Like, you can tell his dad also doesn't like really love him because he thinks he's not strong enough, not a Viking yet, you know.
I think that's
it's like the Viking way.
It's correct, the Viking way. I do enjoy how overall they. Oh, I would say to get into the plot of it is the same, y'all.
They didn't change anything. It's literally shot for shot story, like literally.
I could not pinpoint any difference.
Yeah, there wasn't anything. I think Mason Thames, is that his name? Is Hiccup. He did very well.
guys, look at what happens when you accurately cast the age for these characters. Hey, they do a good job. Why? Because they relate to the character best.
I think he did very, very well. I think Nico Parker did well. I think the cast of like Rough Nut, Tough Nut, Fish Legs, and Snotlout, they were good. They had good chemistry. I just didn't really, maybe because there weren't scenes, and we get it more in 2 of like them really being friends.
I think that's gonna be more in 2. Even in the first one,
exactly. It's like
they're just there.
It's the same beats as the original. So to me, it's like that's how I always have thought. Like I feel like, but in the animation, there's something about their dynamics that like you can tell they're like maybe more friends.
Yes,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the chemistry though.
It could be the chemistry, but clearly we'll find out in a sequel because it's been greenlit. So I'm excited. Sorry guys, I'm excited for
at least from what I saw. That's what I told you yesterday. Yeah. I saw that it was greenlit already.
It was greenlit.
Second live action.
I think overall it was well done. I'm so extremely happy with how the CGI turned out. Now I will be doing my research on YouTube for VFX artists. Did they do a good job actually from a professional perspective? Again, I don't know.
We're not
professionals. Yeah, but in comparison to
good.
Other stuff, this is what happens when you give the VFX people time. Give them time to do their work properly. Now
they looked cute, but like still scary. Like if you
like they're still they have the animation cartoonish element to them, but they are scary with the scales, the lighting, the detail.
That works for this universe and it works for the story. Correct. Because the dragons are only scary for a portion of the movie. They become pets, like they become friends to the Vikings. So I think it works.
I think
they're not supposed to be big and intimidating and scary. Yes,
you're right.
Like they are in like House of the Dragon,
correct,
Game of Thrones.
Correct.
So yeah. That's
so,
why I'm like worried for like Fourth Wing and seeing which route they're gonna go.
I think it's very.
That's a whole other thing.
That's a whole other thing. But I think overall, this cast did a really good job. And one of the biggest takeaways that really showed me of like, okay, I guess live action is not so bad, were the kids next to us. There was these 2 boys. One of them, it looked like an older brother. He was like around 8 years old, and then a younger one that looked around like 5 or 6. Seeing their reactions of them saying "aw" and being like gasping audibly, like
after Test Drive, which we'll talk about in a second.
Yeah.
After Test Drive, that whole scene, the little one, the 5 or 6 year old, stood up and never sat back down.
It's like he knew, and he had mouth open the entire time. Like that in that moment made me realize it's like, oh wow.
Like eyes were glued to that screen.
There's gonna be a whole generation that because they're not seeing these films on Netflix and stuff. They're going to the movies. Thank God their parents are taking them to the movies and seeing it in IMAX for the first time. Oh my God! Thank you. Like it's in that moment. I'm like, oh my God, he just got introduced to a whole new world. Like, oh my goodness, what a wonderful. And I empathize like with all the Disney live action stuff, but when it comes to it being live action, you can do it right.
I was gonna say when you can see the way. Well, to be fair, this is just our opinions because we haven't seen the critique online of it yet, so I'm not sure how people are really like if they like that. Because I think with live actions, I think the problem with live actions isn't if they're getting it right or if they're getting it wrong. It's the fact that they're happening at all.
Correct.
Why are we remaking media? Why are we remaking a story when we could be doing something new? And that's fine. I totally understand that. But they're happening. You just gotta settle in it. So
I think
this one was done correctly.
This was done correctly. So in the defense of live action, because I like playing devil's advocate, Universal's doing a really good job. A genuine, a really, really, really good job. We're seeing it with Wicked, and now we're seeing it with How to Train Your Dragon. Specifically with why they are doing these live actions is because with Epic Universe happening, it is different when you see an animation film. You're like, oh my goodness, that place looks magical. I want to visit it. But with them doing a live action interpretation of it, it's like you can go see Isle of Berk in person, and it's wonderful. If you guys haven't seen our video, y'all should go check that out. We went to Epic Universe, but I think that's the reason why. And on top of that, Universal, they're building a theme park in the UK, so they're bumping out these live actions because people are like, oh my goodness, I would love to go visit these places, and you will be able to. On the other hand of Disney, the only reason why majority of them are doing live action is because of the copyright. It's not even because we know what the princesses look like in real life. Have you been to Magic Kingdom? I always forget. It's the copyright. That's why they do the live action stuff, so they have the rights to it. But Universal, at least they're thinking even further in advance. It's like they're constructing these real life sets, quote unquote, for people to enjoy and indulge. And I think it's really, really wonderful. Even then, it's like I was looking at the Isle of Brick, and it being an actual island, it's very small. You could see how small the island is, how everyone is like a very really big family there. But same thing at Epic Universe, it's a very small like universe, and I think they did a really, really good job. I have high expectations now from now on from Universal making animation into live action. I swear to God, if Shrek gets animated live action, I'm going to kill myself. I swear to God. They have a musical. They have Shrek the musical.
I know, but I don't think that's not something anyone wants to see live action. Like, that's not something anyone wants to see live action. This is something I could see people wanting like they have an audience for.
I do wonder how far they're gonna take the franchise.
I mean, if they already greenlit 2, what's stopping them from doing the 3rd one? Just do it.
I guess, yeah.
Just do it.
That's true.
They got the money. Why not?
You're so.
They're trying to make the merchandise. You know, people want to see Starfire.
You know what?
Is that her name?
I don't know. Starlight.
Is it? She's a Light Fury.
Light Fury. So maybe it's Starfire. I don't know.
You know what? We're gonna settle this right now.
Because we don't know what it is. But I will say I was thinking about it out loud, and I was like, we don't have a lot of dragon media besides like maybe Lord of the Rings. There's dragons. Harry Potter, there's a dragon or so. Dragons are mentioned in the book, but we don't see them. We have How to Train Your Dragon, House of the Dragon, Game of Thrones. But in reality, we really don't have much dragon media. So I do.
Yeah, she doesn't have a name. She's just referred to as a Light Fury. And then on Reddit stuff, people suggest her name is Luna. I don't know where I got Starfire from, but yeah, she's a Light Fury. I know she's a Light Fury. I just don't remember if she ever had a name.
That's weird.
I never rewatched.
Well, if you think about it, she doesn't get claimed. She's
right.
So Toothless goes with her into the wild. So there's no reason to name her if she's not claimed by someone. But I do hope this shows the movie industry that people want dragons. People want dragon media, dragon stuff. Even within the fantasy world of stuff, dragons are beloved. People love seeing what is your interpretation of dragons, and I think Universal's interpretation is fun, and I would love.
Well, it's just more kid friendly.
It's more kid friendly. Well, yeah, it's more kid friendly, but I do want more. I am excited. Seeing what's it called? Test flight? What the hell? I'm thinking about Test Track. I don't know why.
Anyways, John Powell came back to do the soundtrack, and we went to go watch the movie with my friend Ever, who's a huge fan of How to Train Your Dragon, like loves the soundtrack, loves the movies, like he knows the soundtrack, like he plays that shit in his car, like that's his favorite thing. So he was most excited to hear the music. And when I tell you that when Test Drive came on, we looked at each other, we looked back at the screen, we watched the whole scene. I teared up, he teared up. I don't know if you teared up.
My mouth was open.
I teared up and he teared up, and we were just like, that was done so well, because John Powell came back to the music, of course, but it's interesting seeing a composer come back to the music he originally already made. Like, how do you don't want to copycat it, in the sense that like you don't want to, it's not fun for him to just do it again. Mm-hmm. So it's like, how could he elevate it without changing it? And he did. It sounds like more ethereal, it sounds more full. It was just so good.
It was so good.
It was so good.
Bucket list of live is to see it in with the live orchestra. That is a dream. I'm shocked they haven't done it here in Orlando yet. They did it once like in Tampa, but like y'all got Orlando.
They've done other ones.
They've done other ones, but
didn't you go see one?
That was in 2018 in my hometown. I saw A New Hope with the live orchestra.
You've seen one?
I've seen one.
Hey, that's more than most people have.
That is a bucket list of life, y'all. Y'all should do it. It's seeing a live orchestra.
They're doing Lord of the Rings, didn't you say?
Yeah, the last film.
They're doing Return of the King.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I need them to do that. I need them to get on that. Overall, I think, was it necessary? No, not at all.
That's literally what my review says. It wasn't necessary. No. Will it ever be the original? No. But is it the best live action I think I've seen ever? Question mark.
For me, top 5. One of the best is Cinderella.
Okay.
The first.
That's a personal.
The first one, because they did such a good job expanding on the lore of her father, Cinderella herself, and the stepmother and the stepsisters. But that's I don't know.
I'm genuinely trying to think, and I don't think there's one that beats this one right now for me.
Live action Transformers. The first one was pretty good,
but that's not a live.
It is. It was a TV show. It's a TV show.
What?
Yeah. Oh, girl, Transformers lore. Yeah, girl.
I don't give enough fucks about Michael Bay to care.
Okay, but listen, it's pretty good. That's pretty good. I would recommend Transformers. If you know, you know. That's a pretty good live action adaptation. That's the only ones I can really think about.
I'm talking about the ones in the last like 10 years with the whole Disney.
Oh well, shoot. That's yeah. I don't know.
Although the Smurfs, he's down. Now that you brought it back up, I gotta rewatch that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Neil Patrick Harris.
Well, yeah.
I gotta rewatch that. But were there any negatives you had about the movie?
The color grading.
I think it should be a thing with every.
I think the editors are not the editors. Mr. Dean, director, right? I'm gonna need you to put like a +5 on that saturation, just a +5, because hey, it's fictional, it's fantasy. There's dragons involved. You could add a little color, just a little bit, yeah. Just a little bit of color. Like it's okay because we get this kind of color grading already in Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon because of the tone of the show.
More dramatic.
It fits.
More based in the realism.
The politics. Like if it was, imagine if it was like My Little Pony. Like no, it wouldn't. It would honestly take me out. But for a movie like this, just increase the saturation. Just especially with the dragons are colorful themselves. Yeah. So I do wish they added a bit more color.
Yeah, that's really it though.
I would say that's it. The music was good.
Like I said, since it was a like shot for shot like remake, I don't think there was much because to me the original was like perfection.
I will say 2 questions I have in the future. Do we know how old is Hiccup in the second one? Like 19? Do we know? We don't know the time because they get married in the second one, so he's older,
which is wild. But yeah, they're much older.
They're much older, so
maybe 5 years older.
Okay, no, because I'm curious to know with them having filmed him accurately now, will they be filming him accurately like in the future, like waiting until he's 20 or 21 till they start filming the next one to just have a bit more accurate? Because
okay, here we go. Hiccup is 15 years old in the first film. He is 18 to 19 in Dragon's Race to the Edge, 20 in How to Train Your Dragon 2, and 21 in How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. And then in the epilogue, like that last clip of the last movie, he's 30. Scene.
So I think they're gonna give it a break. They're gonna because Mason himself, the actor,
is just now 17.
He's not only his age; he looks young. Like he has a really young face.
I'm sorry, but Hiccup in the second movie was always my crush when I was little.
As like it should be.
Oh my goodness! I mean, he was so cute in the first one, but like he was my crush.
No, he's so good looking. They have no reason to make an animated character look that good. That's ridiculous. And at the end, I will say,
oh yeah, when the little epilogue.
You know what's funny about that? He never changed his hair. Same hair. He just grew a beard and like a braid or whatever.
It's okay. But I prefer that over doing something like a Kurt Hummel, where it got bigger over time. I love you, Chris Colfer, but I can't.
Oh my gosh.
What did you rate it? Oh, you don't remember?
No.
I gave it a 4.
I think I gave it a 4.
I really enjoyed it. I really thought it was well done, so I gave it a 4. You gave it 3.5.
No. I liked the review. That was 3.5. I gave it a 4.
Oh,
I gave it a 4. Yeah.
I think it was well done.
It was well done. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I wish I had a hot take. I really wish I did. It was.
And maybe we have to watch it again to see. But I think it was.
Shit. Again, I'm gonna invest in watching it in 4DX. You're kidding me?
Yeah, I've seen the videos of people watching it 4DX.
I guys, come on. I will say, I would love. Hear me out, Universal and you Imagineers. A Dragon, How to Train Your Dragon version of Flight of Passage at Universal.
Oh, that could be cool.
We need that.
Although Flight of Passage already feels like you're riding a dragon. I just pretend it's a dragon.
Well, yes, but that's the one thing. I'm like, y'all want a new ride? There you go.
Yeah. I think, no. I mean, I don't really have hot takes for this movie. I thought it was well done.
Yeah, me either.
Very strange double feature, but it had to be done.
It had to be done, guys.
So we were like, let's go on Letterboxd and see if there's any.
I like looking at like opposing views for myself because I like learning why.
So this person gave it a 1 star and said it's just the original movie, but visually uninteresting and with noticeably terrible CG dragon designs.
Okay.
Subpar younger performances and slight scene extensions, making this unnecessarily 30 minutes longer. I was left bored very early on. The score is great as it was in the original. I would have never watched it if my friends didn't want me to see it with them.
I mean, see, now I really want to know, like, what... Like, it was a good CGI, though. Like, I want to know what made it what made it bad?
It's like between the young acting because they're too young, like it's not as emotional, or saying that the CG dragons are not it. But I just want to know what's wrong with them. Is it because they're not? It's not an animation. We can't make them look animated, or is it because they don't look realistic enough? Then people will be saying, "Oh my god, he's not cute. They're not cute."
I don't like
What is it?
that's the thing. I mean, at the end of the day, remember the internet. It's like it's a black hole. Like it ain't that serious. At the end of the day, once you turn off the phone, you have your own opinion. But I think it's really same thing with like young artists and stuff. It's like the music isn't good. It's like, guys, they're young actors. How are they supposed to?
This person said, if you're an animal lover, don't watch. First time ever walking out of the theater. The animal torture, even though it's technically fake, was the most I've ever seen in a movie.
Animal torture?
I'm trying to remember what animal torture there was.
I will say Stoic beating the hell out of the dragon.
Oh, the fake dragon, the CG dragon that has no...
Oh, the entire time I was like, that person's dead. Why are they still walking? Stoic, he dead. What do you mean he's still alive? Thor, he's literally Thor with how strong Stoic is, and I low-key like that, because if they made it like realistic in that sense with their strength, then it would honestly would take me out. Like, yeah, let him beat Thor. How strong he is at beating a dragon up. That's funny, guys. Guys, you can laugh. Then, oh my god.
I think a lot of people are saying that like it looks visually stunning. Some people are saying it's like two opinions. It looks visually stunning, but the acting is dry and emotionless, or the like it's still as beautiful as the original and like the story is great, but the CG dragons are throwing them off.
But like, I don't understand people.
I don't know, personally, I think it did better. Like people are comparing it to The Lion King, and for me, don't ever do
that. Don't ever do that.
Because The Lion King didn't need to be made live action.
Give them tell them what you've told me about the live action Lion King and how
I just don't want to talk about it anymore because it makes me mad.
I'll tell them for you. So basically, in Lion King themselves, it should have only worked in the true animated style, because when you take live looking animals and give them human voices, it's weird. And they sing.
There's just no need. And I love you, Jon Favreau, but who the fuck told you to do that? What drug told you I'm gonna make the Lion King a live action? I just don't like it. And also, how dare you? How dare you get rid of Scar's Be Prepared? How dare you? That is the best number out of the whole freaking movie.
And here's the thing. On top of that, I love bringing up the Disney adaptations because they're bad. This is what happens when you take someone like what was the fish's name in Little Flounder? When you take Flounder and make him look like his actual species in real life, ugly, scary. Hey, not cute.
And they can't portray the emotion that you can in the animation.
He's a fish.
But it's the same with the lions.
Because they're real animals. But with dragons, you can make them cartoonish like. You can, because they're fake. Guys, they're fake. They're fake. And I don't thank God they don't speak.
If you saw either one of the movies or both, let us know what you think.
Yes. I would love to hear. I would love to see your hot takes.
Let's do something real quick. Let's try to make a connection between the movies. Let's find a connection.
What's a connection?
Let's find a connection. Is there a storyline that there's a connection with?
All I think is daddy issues. That's all I think about is daddy issues.
But Lucy doesn't have daddy issues.
She doesn't.
We don't even get to know. I mean, she has like parental issues where it's like her expectations. Her expectations of what love should be. Mm-hmm. Where it was kind of like blurred by her parents' love. Mm-hmm. And then Hiccup's expectations of like, I guess, love and a family and whatever, because he lost his mom so young. The love between him and his dad is hard. The common thing is love. It's love. That's the common theme. It's love, guys. It's love. Mm-hmm. It's love.
I'm trying to think of like society as a whole, like trying to like work together and just be.
How Chinese Dragon has some political undertones, maybe? Do you think deeply about it?
With dragons, though, like it's.
Oh, like it's a metaphor.
It's, I guess, but they're just the dragons.
They don't understand each other. They were fighting because they didn't understand each other.
So
They had more in common. They had more in common than they thought.
Miscommunication. That's what it was between Lucy and John and the dragons and the Vikings.
There we go.
There we go. I found it. It was a miscommunication. I hate that. I hate miscommunication. But that's what it was.
Anyways,
there you go. We found it.
That was the double feature screen sips, guys.
Yeah, let us know your thoughts.
Hopefully we did a vlog for Atlanta, so hopefully that comes out before you see this. But if not, it might be the other way around.
Oh yes, fun content for you guys. Rumors found out that Taylor finalized a script and it sent it to
we may be getting some sort of Taylor
movie
feature film in the
next. That's crazy.
And that it's possibly about Rebecca Harkness's life.
Very Last Great American Dynasty.
It is the Last Great American.
Well, yes.
Not kinda. It is.
Even better.
That's what that song's about. It's about
cool.
Rebecca.
Well, yes, I'm saying it's cool.
Oh, I was like, it's about Rebecca Harkness's story and how Taylor relates to it. So interesting there. What else? She owns her master recordings.
Oh yeah, she got her masters. Yay.
But yeah, there's a lot,
guys. There's a lot. Stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned. Subscribe. Not miss out on our good content. And let us know what you're most excited for. It is movie summer. That's what it is.
It's a busy summer for everybody.
Yeah. Alrighty, Spidey.
Team Jared, Team Conrad. No. I'll leave that to y'all.
But
yeah, thank you so much for watching. We appreciate the support. What are you doing? You trying to put a hex on them?
Yeah, like, subscribe, comments, engage. Yeah, that's all for today.